guys, RPM here. Hope you're doing well, having a really great day. In this video, I just wanted to specifically talk about the 5 GB DAG size coming up here on Ethereum very soon and how that's going to affect certain ASIC miners such as the Jazz Miner X41U, as this is a 5 GB memory model, and as well as the Silicon A10 Pros, which I have an example here to show you all that it's actually not been doing too well. I've been getting a lot of rejected shares here, and I think I need to firmware update this Silicon A10 Pro, but I'm going to talk about that later here. So yeah, there's a couple other things I just want to give my thoughts on regarding the hash rate, and it's going to correlate also with a video that I literally just did yesterday regarding the Antminer E9. And so with all this coming together, it is going to be interesting on how much of the hash rate is either going to fall or keep going up because of the E9s are literally being shipped out as we speak. So before we begin, this video is sponsored by Watom.io. Watom is a complete Bitcoin mining solutions provider and the largest distributor of Bitcoin mining equipment in the United States. Watom has got all your mining needs covered by offering everything from the latest ASIC miners to mobile mining containers and power transformers, as well as complete hosting services and full facility buildouts. Their team of over 100 mining experts has got you covered by offering exceptional customer service. They also offer installment payment plans, which makes getting into Bitcoin mining or scaling your existing mining operations that much easier. Link down below to watom.io/RPM. Okay, so Tim Bako had a tweet here. He says, we're scheduled to exceed the 5 GB threshold in 2 weeks. And he has the MinerStat DAG size calculator link here, which I'll go through in a second. And he says, looking at when we exceeded 4 GB, the drop was barely noticeable. But there were comments saying that the 5 GB drop might be larger due to its being popular ASIC configuration. And what they mean here is, I would say the Jazz Miner X41Us are actually basically all the Jazz miners, I believe, are 5 GB from what I understand. And let's just look at some other models here. The X4Q, 1040 mega hash. And if we scroll down, it says 5 GB of RAM. All right, so yeah, I believe all the other models are also 5 GB as well. But if we go to, let's say, Silicon A10 Pros, they do have the 5 GB model A10 Pros as well. And I do have one specifically. And I have not firmware updated it yet because I don't have this in my hands physically, and I don't want to firmware update it until I get it back from the gentleman who's hosting it for me. Yankee, thank you, man. But yeah, I'm in talks with him, and then hopefully I can also ship back my 7 GB Silicon A10 Pro, the 720 mega hash model, that I can do the firmware update for this as well. Basically, to be able to mine ETC on these. That's basically what Silicon has released. But we all know Ethereum is eventually going to move to proof of stake. And the Allcore devs just had another meeting as of today, as of recording. And they talked about having I guess the Gorley or Gurley merge coming up pretty soon. So if that is successful, then it's all hands on deck. I guess the merge could happen in September. We're not sure yet. I did see another tweet from Bitsby Trippin, and I don't have it up here, but it was something about that there could be some type of attack vector or DDoS on the validators, right, on the nodes, once POS is fully implemented or something. I'm not quite sure. I guess we'll see what happens. I'll update you guys if I hear anything more. But anyways, going to the DAG size calculator here, right? So the current DAG size for Ethereum right now is 4.977 gigabytes. And I just wanted to put in 5 gig here, and that says August 17th of 2022. So that's coming up in literally 2 weeks here, right? It's August 4th of 2022 as of recording. So I just wanted to log into my Jazz Miner here, and I did update it to the latest firmware. Jazz Miner just released a new firmware, and it looks like I gained a little bit more hash, but also I'm using a little bit more power. But yeah, the latest version here, July 26. And one thing I wanted to show you guys is I guess the available memory. Showing according to the logs. Okay, I'm in the log on the Jazz Miner, in my Jazz Miner X41U right now. 5 GB according to the website, right? But I'm just looking here, the memory, it says 475,720 kilobytes, I believe, and then 524,288 available. Assuming, right, if the 5 GB DAG is coming up here, and this is the log of today. So I'm assuming, you know, if the DAG size is right now 4.977, that Jazz Miner is showing 475 here used, and then available is 524. I'm wondering if this correlates. I'm not a coder or anything. You guys can read all these numbers here. Just pause the video and I don't know, add all these numbers up. I'm not quite sure if this is correlating to the exact like 5 gigabytes, right? So if this number 524, and actually one other thing I wanted to just do quickly here is normally when I see memory like 1 gigabyte, it's supposed to be like 1024 megabytes, right? Times, let's say 5, you know, typically would that be 5,120 gigabytes or 5,120 megabytes, right? So 5.12 gigabytes. Is that how the, you know, technical jargon works? And I was trying to look up, you know, how like the IEC, the International Electrotechnical Commission, how they, I guess, propose the standards for the binary or prefixes for like megabyte. And it says here the megabyte is commonly used to measure either 1000 bytes or 1024 bytes. So the interpretation of using the base 1024 originated as technical jargon for the byte multiples that need to be expressed by the powers of 2, but lacked a convenient name, as 1024 approximates 1000, roughly corresponding to the SI prefix kilo. It was a convenient term to denote the binary multiple. But anyways, I wanted to, like, you know, just example. What if I put 5.1 here, 2? You know, maybe the Jazz miner could still mine up until October 26th of 2022. Just looking at the available memory here, okay? I'm just speculating. I'm not sure if that is the case. But, you know, this type of thing did happen with, I would say, like, you guys remember the 580 4 gigabyte cards? When the 4 gigabyte cards on Ethereum, it wasn't really a big notice, but there was also a zombie mode for the RX 580 4 gigabyte cards and other 4 gigabyte cards out there. So what's not to say that the Jazz miner could technically have a zombie mode, or, you know, if there's a little bit available memory still, that it could still mine past the August 17th here, or, you know, 5.2, if I put the number here of 5.24, for example, 5.24, then the Jazz miner could maybe potentially mine till January 6th of 2023. So another, you know, good half year from now. You know, I'm just theoretically here, all right? So just letting you guys know. But so now let's talk about my Innosilicon A10 Pro, which I am having an issue with right now. It's only posting, right, 83 mega hash. And it's been doing this since, I think a couple days now. I didn't touch it for the past couple days, but I noticed it a couple days ago where the hash rate went from like 500 mega hash down to 83. It's not hashing that great right now. So I want to get this in my hands. I'm going to ask Yankee to ship it to me. And then I'm going to do the firmware update that we can download here, the 5 gigabyte latest update for ETC. So then I want to do a specific video updating this and seeing how it works, essentially. But anyways, I'm excited to see, right? So how, if August 17th comes around, are we going to see a drastic drop off in hash rate on Ethereum? Like, I don't know how many of these Jazz miner X4 Qs are out in the network. We're not quite sure how many of the X41Us are out in the network. I think this is one of the most popular Jazz miners out right now, and it's like $4,100 right now. As they do state this as a ETC hash server, but I have a Jazz miner X41U and it's mining Ethereum as we speak right now, no problem. But for how long? If it's going to stop in the next 2 months, begs the question. I'm excited to see. And if my theory here is correct, right? If the available memory is still good for, you know, the next 6 months here, according to the, you know, the memory size, then that begs the question, right? Then that means the Ethereum hash rate won't really be a big drop in the next, I don't know, 2 weeks here. I guess we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated if my Jazz miner stops working, but I'll keep a note of this log here. You guys can let me know, and also my 5 gigabyte Innosilicon A10 Pro. Right, so we're not sure if this is exactly 5 gigabytes of RAM or 5120. What I talked about here, you guys can let me know. I'm not proficient at this jargon here, but anyways, you know, I'm thinking about some other 5 gigabyte models out there, and honestly, I can't think of anything else except for the, like, for GPU wise, actually the P102s were 5 gigabytes, but there was a firmware update, and I think I did a video about that. BIOS updating it to 10 gigabytes, right? The 5 gigabyte P102s were able to update to 10 gigabyte with a BIOS update. So that's another thing, right? Those cards may not mine Ethereum much longer for those that don't have the 10 gigabyte firmware, but there is a video I think I did with that. But looking at some other models, yeah, the iPolo V1 minis, The gold ones, they have 5.8 gigabytes available, and Jasminer X4, all the Jasminers only have 5 gigabyte, right? So those will technically drop off soon, potentially. And then we got the Antminer E9. Okay, so this is where I forgot to talk about the E9 potentially coming in. They're all being shipped out as we speak. I just did a video yesterday announcing that I do have a Jasminer, I have an Antminer E9 coming to me from Crypto Miner Bros. They just shipped it like a couple days ago. It's coming to me in, I think, in the next couple days. And so that means other people are going to be getting theirs as well. So what's not to say that the Ethereum network hash rate could rise in the next 2 weeks here from, you know, what people are potentially saying here, because the ASIC configurations, that 5 gigabyte is popular. I guess with the E9s coming out, it could balance itself out, that the network hash rate for Ethereum could still stay, you know, relatively high to what it is now, or continue to drop down, because we're not quite sure how much 5 gigabyte ASIC hardware is out there on the network. So that remains to be seen. I will let you guys know once that happens on Ethereum, which is supposed to be next week. And if that cuts off my Jasminer or my Silicon A10 Pro, I will let you guys know. That's gonna be fun. But ultimately, for us GPU miners, I think that it should be a good thing that these 5 gigabyte models get off the network and lower the difficulty, so the people that have GPUs are going to win out in the end, hopefully. And hopefully the merge doesn't get put in September, obviously, unless something goes wrong. Not quite sure, but I'll keep you guys updated. All right, I want you guys to let me know what you think about the available memory here, as well as the Silicon 5 gigabyte models. If you guys think it's actually going to come out, stop mining in the next 2 months here. I want 2 weeks here. Let me know. I want you guys to let me know. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one, and peace out.